Whoever fabricates evidence with the intent to defeat, obstruct, or pervert the course of justice in any proceeding shall be liable to the same penalties as if he had committed perjury in that proceedings. It is clear from the tape recording that Mr. Dame was urging, goading, and encouraging the third accused to fabricate evidence in the form of a fake medical excuse duty to deceive the trial court. Ladies and gentlemen, we now get to false entrapment excuse that Godfrey Dame seems to be relying on. We note that following Mr. Richard Jakpa's explosive testimony last Thursday and the wise 2024 that, quote, the Republic has never required or desired the cooperation of any of the accused persons in the matter in which it has already succeeded in establishing a prima facie case against all the accused persons. Neither the Attorney General nor any officer from the office of the Attorney General has approached any of the accused persons with a view to obtaining evidence from them. Have you heard it? In spite of all this that he has said, he has cleaned the mouth and is telling the public that he has never engaged anybody on this matter at all. It is glaringly clear from the tape recording you just listened to that this claim is a barefaced lie peddled by the dishonorable Attorney General and his office to deceive the public. In sharp contrast to his earlier claim that he has never met any of the accused persons, the Attorney General now claims that he has actually contacted and met the third accused, Richard Jakpa, but that he met him only once at the residence of a Supreme Court judge, and that this meeting was not at his behest, but rather at the behest of a sitting Supreme Court judge who entrapped him. He now wants to extend the lie to a Supreme Court judge. Ladies and gentlemen, all these claims by the Attorney General through his spokesperson are lies, and we have evidence to prove so. In addition to the voice recordings, we have other evidence by way of screenshots of chats on WhatsApp between Godfrey Dame and Mr. Jakpa, which further proved that the Attorney General contacted and represented a represented person without recourse to the represented person's lawyer. The charts further show that it was Godfrey Dame who chose to meet Richard Jakpa at the house of the Supreme Court judge, and not the Supreme Court judge who invited them.
So
the first one.
The date, 16 February.
16 February 2022.
You know the mic. The mic.
16 February 2022. From Richard Jakpa. I am humbly requesting for a time and venue at your convenience to meet you for a private discussion, please. Then I'm most grateful for that kind gesture from you. Then hope to hear favorably from you.
Next.
This is all from Jakpa, the Supreme Court judge. So Godfrey Dame said at the house of the Supreme Court judge through a WhatsApp message sent at 7:32 p.m. This evidence totally belies Dame's contrived and gross claim that he was entrapped. So he was not entrapped. He planned to use the Supreme Court judge to call the witness for whatever they wanted to set up. The next set of WhatsApp chats, WhatsApp exhibits 2, 3, and 4, dated 17th July 2022, shows Godfrey Dame receiving certain soft copies of documents from Mr. Richard Jakpa to facilitate his prosecution of the minority leader at 11:29 p.m., close to midnight. So if you hear Richard Jakpa saying odd and unholy hours and times, this is what he was referring to. This was immediately after the Attorney General had met Mr. Jakpa at the residence of the Supreme Court judge at the instance of the Attorney General. So these are documents which the Jakpa forwarded to Godfrey Dame after that meeting. I want to jail somebody, I don't have the documents, can you help me? If you help me, I will free you. Then we can use the document. And you got all these documents, and still the document could not incriminate anybody. And now you want him to lie on top of the document. So these are documents. And in the next WhatsApp chat, WhatsApp Exhibit 5, dated 23rd November 2023, Godfrey Dame is seen to have placed a call at 10:40 a.m. to Richard Jakpa and followed it with a message at 10:49, acknowledging a message sent to him by Mr. Jakpa that the case had been adjourned to Thursday the following week. Bro, the case is adjourned to next week Thursday. The man is still on admission fighting for his dear life. Then Godfrey Dame, okay, thanks. The final WhatsApp chat, WhatsApp Exhibit 6, dated Tuesday 9th April 2024, shows evidence of a 26-minute phone call placed to Richard Jakpa by Godfrey Dame at 7:12 a.m. the morning of the day Jakpa was scheduled to testify in the court. The recorded one we played for you. It was the morning Jakpa was going to court to testify, and he was saying that today if you go, tell them this. Letters of credit means cash payment. Letters of this means this. So go and tell them. But we don't have our own finance system in Ghana, which is different from the finance system everybody knows all over the world. How can you say that letters of credit is just cash payment? Somebody has taken the money without delivery of goods. And he was pushing him. And the man says, I have my conscience. I can't do it because I am being prosecuted from lies somebody has told about me. So why do you want me to lie for another person to also prosecute when I'm feeling the pinch of how lies can be used to create a problem for you? So I'm not going to do it. You see, it is this telephone conversation that we have played to you. And it was in this conversation that Godfrey Dame, among others, asked Jakpa to fabricate a fake medical excuse duty to deceive the trial court. That's the claim by the person once. And that same was true entrapment by a Supreme Court judge is not only false but hogwash. You now agree? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jakpa's testimony in court, and now I'm going to talk about the contrived plea bargain which Kofi Dame is using as the reason for the meeting and all that. The Attorney General has falsely claimed through his spokesperson and various assigns that his engagement with the third accused was for purposes of plea bargaining negotiations, that there has not been any this trial. 7th April 2023, 6023, whereupon the trial since 2020 submitted by Mr. were all rejected by the Attorney General. On the one hand, an attorney that all those letters, assuming that the lawyers of the third accused are plea in 2022. We have Mr. Jakpa to testify in court. From the foregoing facts, that is calculated everywhere, meaning Ghanaians should be, which will ensure the payment of economic bankruptcy. He's sensitive about his company's reputation and so on, so he's prepared to pay 2 million euros to Ghana. I'm saying no, even way of contriving evidence to get Ato Forson nailed. These are the statesmen we have. Ladies and gentlemen, considering the scandalous nature of this recording, out of public opinion for multiple violations and will 3 and bar 4, a publicly televised parliamentary inquiry into this and other reports of judicial manipulations, but to prevent the recurrence of such judicial manipulations. In conclusion, friends from the media, it is clear from the incontrovertible evidence we have adduced today that the government has no evidence of wrongdoing against the minority leader, but is only involved in fabrications to persecute him as retribution for his strong opposition to the economic mismanagement and general misrule of the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. These damning revelations call into question the integrity of the case of the prosecution in the ongoing ambulance trial and the necessity for same. Godfrey Dame has brought shame and disrepute to the honorable office of the Attorney General with his criminal, devious and vicious conduct. He is a danger to fairness and justice in our judicial system and represents the lowest point in the history of persons who have occupied the hallowed office of Attorney General and Minister of Justice. While we have pointed out many times that Godfrey Dame epitome of the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice in the same person, we believe that he has recklessly abused both offices and his continuous stay in office is no longer tenable. The primary responsibility of the Attorney General is to be the voice of rule of law, ensure the impartial enforcement of law, and advise the President and government to take actions that conform to law. More importantly, an Attorney General must be a shining example and a leading light for the bar, not a criminal-minded, crooked, devious and vicious person who is preoccupied with witch hunting and victimization, as has become the cup of tea of honorable or dishonorable Godfrey Dame. You can make your choice. Mr. Dame has demonstrated time without number that he cannot prioritize the national interest over his party's parochial and self-serving interests. He must therefore resign or be sacked by the president without delay. Thank you very much, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, you can all resume your seats. Thank you. Thank you very much. You can all resume your seats. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we promised you that we were going to adduce shocking and incontrovertible evidence to prove the unprofessional and criminal conduct of the dishonorable Godfred Yabu-Adame in the ongoing Ato Forson trial. And I believe you will agree with me that we have done just that. Not only have we given you an audio recording, we've also shown you WhatsApp chats. And I need to put on record that we have many audio recordings. This is just one. We don't want to confuse you. We don't want to overload you with evidence and information. And as the conversation ensues, you are going to hear from us again. So this is a very serious matter, and it is our hope that you, our friends in the media, the fourth estate of the realm, will treat it with the necessary seriousness and urgency. Now, at this stage, we will not be able to do any presentation in the Akan language because we don't have time, but later we will avail ourselves to speak to all the Akan stations. I would want to find out from the media men present here, just the media men present here. Do you have questions for General Mosquito, or this is self-explanatory? Good. Yeah. So, General, I think you've done justice to the issue. You've done justice to the issue. So we are going to share the script with you, and we are going to share with you the full tape, the full 60 minutes 5 seconds tape, 16 minutes 5 seconds tape. We're also going to share with you all the screenshots. And so just look at the evidence, evaluate the evidence, make an informed choice as a discerning Ghanaian, as a journalist, and speak up on this matter. Let's ensure that justice is done. Some have suggested that we are trying to get the state to free Honorable Ato Forson. No. Nobody has called for, nobody has called for a discontinuation of any case. If the state still believes that they have a good case, looking at all this mess, to prosecute, they can. But we are saying that Godfred Dame is not the only person who can be an attorney general and prosecute that case if at all there is a case to prosecute. He must go, and all voices of conscience, including MPP members, must join us in this call, because it's about the sanctity of that important office of Attorney General and Minister of Justice. When we had these distinguished personalities in that office, we never heard anything like this. This is the first time that office has been brought into public disrepute and opprobrium in this manner, and we are demanding for action. Thank you very much. We will see you before you go. The hashtag is that Dame must go now. And this is not about insults, this is not about rumor mongering, this is about evidence. This is our tape. If you doubt it, bring your tape. We've shown you WhatsApp messages. If you doubt it, bring your evidence, and we are ready to engage in that informed discussion on this matter. Thank you very much for coming.
Your